Hi, precious one. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Brittany Virginia. On this channel, I share beauty, hair, and Christian lifestyle content with you guys. And today I have another video. It's been a while. It's been a long time coming. And I hope you like my last vlog, which was it was like sit down and get ready for me doing my hair, but also like I was getting ready for a wedding, my friend's wedding. So I'm back. I just wanted to get a video out. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. In the new year, pray God that we can see the new year. But I wanted to get this out before Christmas so it can just be there and at least I have it. So where have I been? So I if you don't know, well now you know. If you don't know, now you know. So I am a writer, poet, and creative producer. So I do a lot of like creative things. I had my play up in the mango trees, which I'll post some pictures, videos, maybe on the side, or maybe like remove my face so you can see it fully. It's up in mango trees. It's about a young disabled woman who runs for carnival queen for the first time in Saint Lucia, and is just exploring the beauty of the island, the culture, the festivities, but also just her the how a lot of people view disability on the island, and just addressing how important and how it's a necessity to have the disabled voice present with making decisions on the island. Okay, okay, so now I am back. So you know your screen sleeps, so I had to put it on never. So yeah, my play, and I was revving up for that, and I had a few videos in mind to put out before because I know I was gonna be gone for the month of October because the play was in October, and I knew there was just gonna be a lot of things. Well, I did not anticipate, because I was also producing the play, that how much work would I would need to be doing, producing, writing it. Obviously, it's already written, but there's a lot of rewrites as well, and and acting in it as well. It just got so intense. So by August, I was just like, whoa, what's happening? And like stress was an understatement. Like I literally was like, I'm so grateful my hair didn't fall out and stuff like that. But yes, it was just a crazy time, and I'm so glad I got it done. Praise God, it was beautiful, and I got some good recognition for it, and for my efforts, and for the story, and my unique touch as a writer and creative in this industry. But as you know, I definitely want to grow my platform here, and I want to grow my audience here, because I want to be able to have multiple avenues that I am investing, and because I just don't want one, because different little things. And I am a Christian. Okay, number one, I'm a Christian. I'm a lover of God, lover of Jesus. And I want to encourage others through my faith, with my faith. And I want to be able to talk freely about my faith. And this is a platform where I believe I can talk freely about my faith, as it comes, and as the Lord empowers me too. And I think other people are really encouraged by that as well. Like seeing, okay, you're a writer, that's cool. Like they love the creative side of things, but they are also really impacted by the core of who I am and how rooted I am in my faith. And I'm not perfect, obviously. Listen, that's another we'll talk about this probably during Valentine's. Not perfect. But I know that at the like God is the center, and I just want to be able to leave this earth and know that I did what He's calling me to do. And that means that it's not just going to be just writing about, and connecting with audiences who probably don't connect with, the core of who I am. So, and also a lot of my work just, it's soaked in that faith, and I'm writing another poetry book at the moment. And that definitely, my first one obviously talks about Jesus a lot, and this one talks about Jesus, but also talks about like just overcoming just journeying through womanhood and stuff like that, and friendships and relationships and stuff. So yes, that's where I've been. My play, trying to do that, it was stressful, but I am back. And I knew that um October, obviously October is the play, other things happened with the play. Then in November things happened. I had different projects. And I had someone reached out like a few months before. They wanted me to they wanted me to do a poem at a church, and that was the end of November. And I was like, you know what? I definitely think that's probably going to be my last performance of the year because it's just been so hectic, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity. But I was like, no, I need to take December off because I was just doing so much, and I realized that I started to make productivity an idol. So during the play, I was like, yeah, I got this. I'm quite organized ish, and but when I was with it and working with other people, because I work so solo, I realized that I'm not as organized as I want to be and should be. And it impacted how other people, how their experience was working with me, and that really like put a down, that really like made me feel so bad. And I had to really address how much, when someone says, "Oh, Brittany, you got this done, or you're doing this, or you're doing that," like how much I really idolized that, and like found so much value and worth in how productive I was. I remember I was getting I think funding and other things was happening, and I remember I was in prayer meeting and the funding wasn't coming through for some reason at the time, and I was just like so stressed. But I was also like, I hate how people are looking at me like I'm not capable. I hate that so much. And it was like, where's your identity, Brittany? Is it in God, or is it in, what you do and how well you do the things that you're doing? And I think we should take some solace in the fact that we're able to maneuver in a way that makes it easier for others as leaders who are coming alongside us, but also, you know just efficiency. We should take solace in that, like, oh yeah, I can be quite an efficient person. But it's an issue when we make an idol. So when that's taken away from us, we feel crumbled and we feel crushed. And that's how I felt so crumbled and so crushed. And so, like, there was just no value in me. And why am I doing this? I'm incapable. I'm dumb for doing this. This makes no sense. And it comes from a lot of like growing up feeling unworthy and wanting to prove myself and others that they were wrong about me, that no, I'm actually very capable, and I can, build an empire from the ground up, which is, in a sense, I guess, what I'm doing now. I always say I'm trying to carve out a path that's never been carved out before, and it probably has been, but it's not on probably the scale that I envision it. And it God really met me in that time, that I was broken down, and all I could do was just like, Lord, I just trust you. I don't know what else to do. Um, and despite feeling so low and so broken and so defeated, I had to remember that what God says about me and how much He values me, even when I'm not accomplishing anything or anything. How He sees me, and even people who I work with, like they saw, my lack, and they were still very much like, oh, she's learning and I want to work with her again. Like, because I was able to, get something up from nothing to here. So I think I'm grateful for those who saw value in me, but I really made productivity an idol. Everybody would be like, yeah, I felt so good when I woke up early and was able to um exercise, go to the gym, get that done, start work at 8:30, then go to do my freelance. I was so excited. It made me feel so good. And then, slightly, because you're feeling so good, you end up looking down on others that you're living with, that are like, oh, they're not doing as much as I am, or they didn't do this or they didn't do that. And you start comparing your righteousness and how worthy you are. But the Bible says that our righteousness is filthy rags. Um and and it was just so frustrating because I'm like, man, that's so true. But like, I also struggled with laziness, especially when I was at uni, and I felt like the Lord was I was convicted about laziness, and I started to seek out how other people lived out their life, and I was like, oh, this is how I see myself: early riser, get everything done, do your nice Bible study, and start your life at 9, 8:30, even earlier than that. Then you're able to rest earlier as well. Um, and you have multiple streams of income, which is, a desire of mine. I don't think that's a bad desire. I think it can become bad if you idolize and put it pedestal it in pedestal it pedestal it pedestal it pedestal it which one, guys? Anyway, yeah, I think that's when it becomes a huge issue. But also I'm like, no, I need the freedom to be able to do what I think God's calling me to. And I just have so much ideas. I'm like, it needs to come, because I truly believe if God has given you a word, and or a vision in your heart, I think you need to act on that as much as it's in your capability too. Because the scariest thing for me is like not walking in faith, and in disobedience, and then at the end of my life, it's like, what did you do with the time that I gave you? And it's like nothing. I wasted it. So that's my biggest thing, is just that fear of wasting this life, because I was scared, and I was too scared to act. Um, but yeah, so it's like, okay, so I'm battling the laziness. I'm battling that, okay, this, I don't want to be this person. I know what kind of person I want to be, and kind of a businesswoman and entrepreneur I want to be. But at the same time, um I've idolized achieving and accomplishing and being this type of woman that people look up to, and like um and praise, and how much I just the dependency I have on my own self, my own ability. Like, I am Miss Independent, and I am capable, and I don't even know my answer to that. No, no, I'm just joking. I need a man. Bring him, Lord. Bring bring him. But I think, to an extent, yeah, it was just like, I had this idea of like what I wanted, even like talking about like romantic partners, and I'm like, why is it this guy he's not perfect, but he has his stuff together, he has a mind, a forward thinking mind, reasonable, mature, a responsible kind of man that I can rely on. These men just not attracted to me, maybe because I'm too independent. They're like, oh, you got it all figured out. And the ones who are just like all over the place, they're like, oh yes, I want to love her. And I'm like, no. um so going through that was hard, because I'm like, Lord, where's the balance? So I'm idolizing being productive, but then and being this powerhouse kind of woman, but I'm also like struggling with laziness, and like, oh, I'm just not gonna do anything at all, you know. And I'm thinking about my parents and people who are supporting me. My parents are just, they really um see value in what I'm doing, and I'm so grateful because they give me that freedom. But they also do see when I stretch myself, and they're like, oh, Brittany, you've been out all week, and I'm like, no, I haven't. But I guess to an extent, I try to implement rest. I mean, and people who meet me will say, oh, you're just always on, you're always doing something. Mind you, a lot of the industry people don't even see my YouTube. They don't know what I'm doing on that side of things, and share my faith and stuff like that. So it's very interesting when they say you're just always doing something. um but that's the kind of industry you also am in. It's a very like industry that's go 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 go. And uh, yeah, I'm not as like exhausted as I see my counterparts are, my colleagues are, because the things that they're doing. And I'm like, I have a safety net of my parents. I have a um I don't know, like I don't think I'm so exhausted. And I know me as well. If I ever get too exhausted, like to the point of burnout, like it scares me, because I also live with anxiety. So battling that as well. I just don't want to be always so anxious. I have to trust in the Lord, so I'm like, okay, I need to rest. So even when church, activities, like, oh, come out here, and I'm like, you know what, is this going to be restful for me, or is it going to be feel like more energy that's taken out of me? And I will have to say no if I feel like it's energy that's being taken out of me. So I'm just like, Lord, so I'm just battling these two things, and I feel like I was doing quite well with it. I remember for my dad's birthday, we went to Morocco, and I wasn't sure, because I'm like, the play was just, this was my dad's birthday is in September, so the plays, in October, and I'm like, I don't know if I should go. Then my mom just books the ticket, so I was like, okay, whatever, I'll go. My gosh, that week was so stressful. I didn't really enjoy myself. I think probably only one day, or there were moments that I just felt cool and relaxed, but it was so stressful being away because there was just so much admin stuff that I had to do that was just like, why is it now this is coming out when I'm away from home? I'm grateful. I'm so grateful because I wasn't gonna bring my laptop. I was like, Brittany, just bring the laptop just in case you don't want to not have it and then you're stuck. I was like, cool, I'll bring the laptop. Thank God I brought the laptop because I was meant to use that week to just solely focus on script memorizing because I hadn't focused on script memorizing. My director was like, Brittany, you don't know all your lines, even though I wrote it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know all my lines. I just need to find this money and get this, you know what I mean, rolling and then find all the people I need. So it was so stressful. And I knew in my heart, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take December off. I felt like the Lord was leading me to just don't do anything for December, like in terms of performances. But maybe I can do little bits and bobs, like with my, my TikTok, or obviously definitely researching some funding for different projects, which I still have to do, and do some writing. Just there's no like deadline for writing. It's just I have some ideas in my head that just like, okay, these stories, get them out. And I was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna do that. And I remember telling people, they're like, oh, Brittany, what do you mean you're gonna just not like work for December? I was like, I just feel like not working for. Obviously, I was doing my part time, my 2 days a week at the charity, but I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna work. And they were like, that's just so weird because you always accept work. But I had to turn down some opportunities because I was like, I'm going to explode. I will explode, if I don't rest in December. December comes now. Cool, cool, having fun. I got sick as well after the play, and then things. I still had to do things, but so you're sick, but you still have to get through things. But I got so sick. Like they call it the super flu, headache, aches and pains all over. Obviously, because whenever you get the flu, you get aches. But it was so bad. It was just like, even now, like when I don't eat, I'm feeling like a bit or something. So I have my tea that I need to take. But it was just so bad, and I'm just like, I know he told me to rest, but I was like, I can rest in a different way. Like I can actually rest, like enjoying my, like I can. Sorry, I'm like, I know I felt the Lord call me to rest, but I was like, this is not resting, like because I'm so sick as well. But he really, because I was like, I'm gonna be outside, just enjoying, meeting people, doing things, Christmas celebrations. You know what I mean? Like this was gonna be December, and I was just in bed, and I wasn't restful in prayer either, and that's another thing. So I would encourage us and me, like, get in prayer because I was also very frustrated with the Lord as well for something else that was crazy enough because I was just like, oh, he's done so many things in my life. Why am I so upset about this thing? I felt like a spoiled child, to be honest with you. And it's just I wasn't in rest. I wasn't restful with the Lord and like praying and interceding and just like hearing His word and listening to His sermons that He's spoken to other people. And I want to feel like my mom's bags. She does handmade crochet bags, so she made this Lucian bag for me because your girl is a proud Lucian, a true Lucian. Lucian, anyways. Lucian. Yeah. So I think moving forward, I definitely want to encourage rest. And the other thing is, I remember I was just doing so much, going to the gym and all these kind of things, and then now I'm like, I feel like I've put on some inches around my waist and other things because I haven't been going to the gym because it's been so tired, been hectic, been busy. It's just been a lot. And I feel like I have to start all over again, but He sees us as His children. He sees us as His children. And it's not a matter of how much we achieve in this life. And yes, we can do some amazing things, consistent things that are just like, incredible. But it's also the most important thing is staying close to Him in prayer at His feet. He wants us to know Him. And we can only be known by knowing Him. He wants to pour so much truth into our hearts through His Word. He wants to encourage us by His Spirit. He wants us to encourage others because we spent time alone with Him. Not in an arrogant way, like I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, because you know we're Christian women. Sorry, but it's true. We Christian women, we like to talk too much. Like you always feel like you have to tell someone something. You always have this word. You have this word. No, trust the Lord that if the person is Christian, or even if they're not, like the Lord will soften hearts and He will guide people. Pray before you speak and try to give advice. But He does want us, He wants to use us to encourage others. So in this time of Christmas, with your family and your friends and your loved ones, I want us to remember that it's really about getting back to that united place with Christ. You know, Jesus spoke, it talks about, I think in Luke, when he's like, the people were looking for a king, and He withdrew to a quiet place to pray. And there's so much rest in that. That even though He was exhausted after serving so many people, He withdrew from a quiet place to pray. And He kept withdrawing from a quiet place to pray. Because He knew that's where His strength was. That's where His foundation was. That's where His hydration was. That's where He was restored. And He wanted to teach us what it means to truly be rested and restored. And it's in the secret place. And yes, sometimes it doesn't feel like we don't feel like doing it. But I encourage us in this Christmas season, take time. This is for me as well, because I'm telling you now, I'm feeling so encouraged. Um, take time to separate and really pray, seek after the Lord, um, and trust in Him, and really rest. Another thing that I'm considering, which I'm feeling very heavily on, is how I treat my Sabbath and how I treat my Sunday worship now. Anyway, that's a different topic. Um, because there are some people in my church, and I'm just so grateful. My church is so interesting, and I'm so grateful that He has me here. Because even though there's a lot of differences theologically, why some things are different, like secondary issues that we have. I'm like, oh, I just differ in that. But their love for the Lord is truly potent and palpable. Palpable? Yeah, palpable. um, and I'm like, I'm just so amazed in how much what they do, and I'm like, oh, I'm very convicted about like how I treat my Sundays after church, and I've been like that for a while now. I think, especially when I was um in my previous place, I've been like that for a while, and but now as I'm maturing more in my faith, it's like becoming more like, oh, right, okay, I really think I need to really consider how I'm doing this. But I feel like I'm going to fail, because I'm like, if I just go home, it's hard for me to just be in a sacred place, sanctified place where I'm just like drowning out everything. And I guess that's just a temptation as well, to just like, just entertain myself. So that's something I have to work on, and going through like fasting and stuff like that and prayer. But yeah, whatever we can do to just get back to withdrawing from the busyness of life and praying, just sitting at the feet of Jesus. And even Martha and Mary, when Mary is like, just listen to the Lord, Martha's like, can you not see my sister has left me alone? Like, granted, she has left you alone, but he says she chose the most important thing, and it will not be taken away from her. And how many times do we do that? We're just like, oh, I need to do, I need to do, I need to be, and I need to do, and we forsake the Lord. And the simplicity of the gospel And this is coming from someone who has failed. I haven't been praying like fervently, and I just haven't. And fervently doesn't look like yeah, always like yeah, I did, but it can look like just being making dedicated time for prayer, and that hasn't been me for a few weeks now. I would say 3 weeks now. And I want to get back there, but it's a journey, and it's like being disciplined. And if you fail, you get back up. And being consistent. So stop idolizing being productive, and start valuing and centering um, being in the presence of the Lord and reading His Word and getting under good Bible teaching and doctrine. And also sometimes as Christians, I don't know, I've seen it with Christian women, I think men as well, but it's like we get in the presence of the Lord just so we can be productive, just so we can one tick off a box, or also be like, oh, He's gonna download things to me, like I'm gonna be inspired to do and not be. And it's like, why don't we be? We need to work on just being, because we are His children no matter what, and He loves us so dearly. And we have to trust in His Word and what His Word says about us, not what we say about ourselves or what the world says about us. Um, so get back into being, because the Father is calling. Okay, thank you so much, guys. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. I will see you in the New Year. I want to just do some more ideas and stuff like that. I just need some help, and I've been looking about how I can be like, I don't know, like, yeah, I do need help. So pray for me for that, because I need guidance. Um, but yeah, take care. Jesus loves you. Bye.